From Booger Hole, West Virginia to Niagara Falls, New York. From Fontana, California to Pensacola, Florida. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour, Talkin Truckin with Dean and Doty. What's going on, Kumar?
Hello. Not much. What about you?
Not much. Welcome to episode 67. What's happening, Joel?
What's up?
All you bad mother truckers out there.
67?
67. Christian in Roanoke, Virginia. What's up, Christian?
Yeah, man, I'm not dead. I was down and out, sick for a while, but I'm back.
You still
so we're
sound
good.
sick. That was a
Stop.
week ago.
You sound better than you did last week.
You do sound better than you did last week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mic quality is great too.
RJ in my
Yeah,
office
way
was
better.
like, yeah, well, thank you. RJ's like, you sounded horrible like that.
You didn't have monkeypox, did you?
No, but I gave him the Pez. So, Carol, I want to apologize. The Pez was at my house. It was waiting, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those were
Pez
cool.
trucks yeah, they were cool.
They're expired, so you might get food poisoning again. So.
What's going on, Doty?
What's up?
How you doing? How's the weather down there in Tarpon Springs, Florida?
Hot, humid.
Beautiful as always.
Yeah.
85
Summertime's our worst time, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's just really humid all the time. I don't know. I've never spent any time in Florida.
You get that 4 o'clock rain shower.
Summertime it
though, every
is.
day.
Afternoon showers every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then it's
I spent
still 100 degrees during the rain.
I spent a week in Naples 5 years ago, and went to visit my parents. And yeah, it was a long. They're gonna hear this, but it was a long week. I loved spending the time with them, but I was the youngest person within 50 miles, I think, of the whole area.
Well, Ian was telling me they have like an entire retired like community, right?
Oh, the villages.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen that on
It's
YouTube
just like
or
a
something.
couple 100,000 old people all living in one contained area. Well, it's not contained enough,
100,000.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
like a whole city.
Yeah, it's like Squidville.
And you have to be over a certain age to even live there. So they have to get all their workers from outside the city. It's actually kind of a mess down there with some issues. So
Yeah, and
It's a good place for a funeral home.
everybody eats at 4:30 in the afternoon, and the bars shut down at 5:30 p.m.
All the Starbucks are a combo.
Yeah.
Starbucks funeral home.
And
you must have
also,
been in a.
go ahead,
It
Mike.
is mostly retirees down here, but you must have been
Yeah.
in a really old
I will
part.
say this: it was a really nice area, really nice. However, there was nothing to do. It was a gated community, and if you didn't play pickleball or
Shuffleboard.
and end everything by 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. My parents do have electric bikes, so which was kind of cool. You get on the bike and you don't really have to pedal, but you can only go around so many times, and it gets boring.
You were in the 55 plus community.
Yes, yes.
There's
You were-
tons of communities that you have to be older than 55 to even move in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was staying with them at their RV, and at the time they had a Class A. They would drive down there every year, and so I was staying with them. Well, one night I got kind of like tired of being alone after 7 o'clock. So one night I said, "Look, I'm gonna Uber up to the Naples downtown area, which looked pretty nice when we drove through there one day." I said, "I'm just gonna go find a place to get a burger and a beer." And I'll Uber back. And my mom said, "Oh, we'll drop you off." So it was like, maybe 6.
Thanks,
and then
Mom.
they're going to bed, right? So they dropped me off, and I said, "Well, don't worry about me. I'll Uber back. It's about 5 miles." So I had a burger, had a few beers. Ended up being like 11 or midnight-ish or something. And I found an Uber, luckily, which was hard. And I got back to the gate. And I had the code. I believe it's 5 years ago. I believe she gave me the code.
Yeah, but there's a curfew.
Oh
there.
no, there's a guard there, and he's like, "Well, it didn't."
Sir, this is
it
past
didn't
your
work.
bedtime.
So he came out and he said, "Who are you here to see?" And I said, "My parents. They live right there, right around the corner there, the first road." And he's like, "Well, I can't let you in. I got to call them." So here I am, I was 45 at the time. The guard had to call my parents, and my mom had to come to the gate, get out of bed, come to the gate, and verify that it was me and let me in.
Oh my God.
You should have got like a walker and then pretended to be an old
She
person.
did claim you, though.
I don't
like,
know
the good
where I
news is
am.
she still claimed you.
Yeah, she did.
would've
She
pushed
always
you.
looked out for me. She's pretty cool, but that was my experience. I'm like, I am not coming back to Naples.
Did your parents get mad at you for staying out too late?
Yeah, I got scolded. Yeah, the whole 30 seconds in her car back to the RV. That was getting it. But anyway, also this week joining us, you can hear him. He was out last week for his anniversary, Ray Nieto from San Antonio, Texas. Ray, where are you?
I'm coming up to Hartford, Connecticut on my way to Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay. What's the price of fuel over there? I was going to look it up today and I didn't get a chance. Have you noticed at the big three what kind of prices you've seen on the Northeast?
The last place I fueled up was in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, and it was $5.74.
Okay, so it's a little higher up there still.
Yeah.
I saw the
But
national.
but the state tax is 74 cents here, though, and if you take that off, it's an even $5.
So okay, so it balances out. I noticed today the average price of diesel was $5.38. Average. I'm sorry, yesterday's average. Did you guys notice? Did you? I look at that usually every couple days. So it's coming down. The fuel surcharge is coming down. I think this week ours was 68 cents. So fuel hopefully keeps coming down. Also, Jim Mackey is with us. He's back on the road. Truck's out of the shop. Jim, glad to have you back on the road and back on the show. Is he here?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
He was. We were talking earlier, but anyway, he'll check in with us. And Nate Garner. Nate?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Well, one thing I do know is Michael Creech is with us. How about it, Michael?
Silence.
Try again.
Where are you at, Michael?
Rolling across 4-4.
What?
Did you borrow Ray's phone?
Yeah, right.
Is that what happened? You went.
Let me clear my throat.
I think we lost him.
Yeah. So anyway,
All of our drivers do not have cell service.
yeah. So
And
we have
Jim's
Ray
back.
with us.
Can you hear me now?
Ray's got Wi-Fi.
There's Jim Mackey. Jim Mackey, where are you? Glad to have you back on the road, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in Statesville, North Carolina. I was late to get there and told me to come back in the morning.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And Nate, I don't know. Let us know when you join us if you're on there, but we can't hear you. Kevin, so throw this picture up there, Kumar. Kevin's not with us tonight. He's working on Tom's truck. They had an issue with the truck, and Kevin went and grabbed the load. He was down in the area for AJ. So this is the picture Kevin sent me a little bit earlier. He said
He's relaxing under
trying
an
to get
umbrella.
right. Does anybody have any
You got
idea
my-
where he's
yeah.
at?
Does he got a margarita under there?
He said there's only one way. There,
A parking lot.
The hint is the umbrella. There's only one way to beat the heat where he's at, he said. And that was to find an umbrella and put it on top of the...
Is he at Applebee's?
Margarita
that'd be
and
Mark.
an oil change.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're doing. I thought it was a turbo. But I don't know. Kevin's always working on something. But anyway, that's Kevin Lewis, so he won't be with us tonight. Anyone have a guess where he's at?
Georgia.
Georgia? Nope. Just guess the state. I'll send
North
you
Carolina.
Pez
North Carolina.
Dispensers. Nope.
Arizona, man.
No, he doesn't run to Arizona very often.
Alabama.
Alabama. That's no.
I'm just gonna ping him.
He's in
I could have looked
Florida.
him up on.
He's actually
That's what I
not
said,
far from
Florida.
you, Mike.
That was everyone's guess.
Yeah.
Florida.
That's how they work on trucks in Florida. An umbrella.
Yeah. I
found some
was gonna
shade.
say Florida or Texas, but then I remembered when I was over in Arizona or something it was, and it was
Yeah.
like 100 and, I don't even know, 112 or 104, something crazy. And they have in the truck stops over there. It was the first time I ever seen it, and they have those big air conditioners that like sit in the middle of the convenience store, just blowing out super cold air because their air conditioner can't keep up or for whatever reason,
Like
people
sitting on
walking
the
in and out.
outside.
No,
They're
it was
using
just this big square. It was like a portable unit, but it was huge,
Oh.
and it was in the middle of the store.
We use them for cattle when we take them to shows.
Yeah. So they had their regular, central AC, but then it was like they had that additional one sitting kind of when you walked in the doors of this truck stop. It was like their central heat and air couldn't keep it cool enough.
Joel, do you
So they
remember
had
when
to-
I tried to change the light, the marker light at the top of? We were teaming. It was
Oh.
at the top corner, front corner.
When
of
we
our-
were in Arizona in July and you were barefooted?
It was 120 degrees, and I was trying to save us a buck, and so we got I told Joel, go in and buy the bulb. I'll climb up there. I slid the trailer as close to the front of the back of the truck as I could. I slid the fifth wheel so I could shimmy up and like Spider-Man, and I got up there. Joel threw me up the stuff I needed. I started to lay down on the top, and there was no way. He had to get my blanket out of the top bunk to throw it up to me to be able to
You would
change
have
the
to
light.
jump if I. Yeah,
Do you remember I had to hang drop off the trailer? I'm like, how am I going to get down now? I
Yeah.
didn't think it through. We were rookies. So,
You were lighter than me, so yeah.
not
Like the
anymore.
lizard on the parking lot, only 2 feet at a time.
I think our biggest,
Too.
I think our worry, Joel, was we pulled into that TA. I remember because there was a scale house shortly up the road, and we knew we had the light out, and there was a reason that we were trying to do it.
You were worried. Oh my God, we're gonna get pulled over.
Oh,
That
I was
marker
worried.
light. They're gonna bust us. There goes our career.
I know. I was scared to death to lose my CDL.
Meanwhile, you're driving over tire chalks.
What'd you say, Christian? I didn't hear
So
you.
meanwhile, he's driving over tire chalks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Chalk block and
Yeah, you gotta worry about the light. Check out these tires.
Blowing up tires.
and Jersey barriers. He put it up on a Jersey barrier one time.
And some
Tandems.
telephone wires and a stop sign.
Oh yeah, he did take out telephone wires running from a tornado in Oklahoma. That did happen.
Well, they were hanging like 6 feet lower than they should.
And then he saw a police officer, state trooper, going the other way. He calls me on the phone. He goes, "Man, I don't know. Should I stop?" I'm like, "Hell no."
He didn't stop.
Keep going.
I-
He's going to the tornado to rescue people. You just keep going and get out of there.
All right. I was going to the delivery, and I'm.
I remember one
You'll
time
see
I was
tail
in
lights.
Oakland, California, and there's
Yeah.
a stretch of 405, I think it is. It's only like 5 miles long. There's no trucks allowed on it. Well, I got squeezed over on it and had to go up it, and I got pulled over. I got a ticket for failure to obey traffic sign management. I said, well, you give me a ticket. Can I just go on now? He said, no, you got to get off the next exit. Well, how do I get to an interstate then? Go down there, take a right, and they'll take you right to it. Okay. I got down there. It was a 5-way intersection. Well, I went straight through. Next thing I know, I'm climbing up this hill in the residential area, and I get to the top of the hill. Only one way to go, left. 1 block, go left. When I went down the hill, I took out every single telephone cable. and everything.
I thought that's where you were going.
I got right back down to that interstate and got on it. The same one he gave me a ticket on and went left.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, the scariest thing is when you're in a tractor trailer, and maybe not a flatbed is so much, but and you all of a sudden you end up turning and you're in a residential area. It's the worst feeling. It's happened to all of us, I'm sure.
Ma'am, can you back me out?
So, can you throw up the picture that Ray sent? We got some pictures this week from drivers. So this is Ray's new buddy, Pedro.
Hold on, I gotta go back a little bit.
Okay. So, Ray, where were you when you found Pedro?
I was on the 81, just past Roanoke, Virginia, and it was a rest area.
Oh, this might have gotten loose from Christian's house.
Yeah, show that
Yeah,
picture
there,
again.
dog.
I was not looking.
The Dawson dog is on the loose.
There he is,
There he is, Pedro the chicken.
just out there doing his
My wife's gonna be
inspection.
pretty mad if that's one of her
It's
chickens.
a good-looking dog.
Ray we're in a group. Ray texts about a couple days ago, and he's like, my mind is going so fast. I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm not sure what this chicken's doing. He's just walking around the truck, and immediately I said he's doing a pre-trip or a post-trip for the FedEx truck that was there.
Looking for his family in a Tyson truck.
Yeah, could have been.
The rescue commission,
Yeah.
chicken rescue.
So then Ray adopted the chicken. Now he's in the truck. He's got a truck ladder so the chicken can get up in there, and he named him Pedro.
Yeah.
Pollo Pedro.
Should have named him Colonel Sanders.
I'm just kidding on Ray adopting him. He had a barbecue that night at the truck stop.
For one.
I ain't gonna lie though, I was really mind blown. Like, where'd this chicken come from? I'm in the middle of nowhere at a rest area, and he's standing right next to a FedEx truck the whole time, just looking at the FedEx truck.
Yeah.
You get out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also got to take into consideration we're in Southwest Virginia here.
Oh, There's some people that can be offended by that. Just for the record.
I'm from there, so I'm right there with you.
Oh, true.
Do you know where Booger Hole, West Virginia is, Creech?
I was digging in it earlier.
Had a family reunion there.
So anyway,
The Slim Pickens over there.
that was Ray's picture of the week. We got another one for you. AC, our driver. So before you put this up, get ready for that one. AC had, what was he in the shop for?
Well, he thought his turbo had a leak somewhere, but it turned out to just be a manifold leak and an exhaust leak somewhere
Okay,
else.
so he went in the shop. He was kind of panicking, because turbo scares everybody. He found a shop here in Canton, right?
No.
Oh, where was it?
No, he's up in Michigan.
Oh, it was in Michigan. Okay, I thought he was back over.
It was his final delivery for our customer loads come out of North Carolina. The place where he was delivering also is a diesel shop.
Pretty good diesel shop. They put him back together. And anyway, show the picture. What was the name of it?
The shop is Dirty Hooker Diesel.
And that's their truck that they.
Yeah, he's got some shirts. He's bringing a couple down for the office.
He bought shirts. Of course he did.
I'm gonna wear it every day.
Well, that should be a Rough and Rowdy sponsor right there.
So there's AC,
Yeah.
my man AC.
Yes. And that is their drag truck right there, 4-wheel drive. Drag truck. They also have
This is not going well.
a tractor pull.
They got a drag truck. This is dirty hooker diesel.
Yeah, they got a polar truck too.
So okay. So anyway, AC had a good time. He was very happy about the place.
They treated him like a king up there. His fridge went out. They gave him a cooler with ice. They gave him a car to use while he's broke down. They had to get a part from somewhere else in Michigan, and they let him use the car to go over there to get it. And then last night, they took him to the tractor pull that they were. So of course he's had an absolute blast being broke down. I wish every driver could have that experience.
His wife
Probably
Trish.
having a going away party for him.
A hotel in the back of the room for you, buddy.
Ian, you probably just got him in trouble because I know Trish, his wife.
No, he's already in trouble.
Okay, because he's probably told her I am having a horrible time, broke down up here in Michigan, and we just let the cat out of the bag. He's running
just
around
hanging out with some
tractor
dirty
pulls.
hookers up here.
That was episode 65.
Well, anyway, after hours with Dean and Dodie, Christian and Kumar. Anyway, the name might be funny, but maybe the hooker part means they have a tow truck. Maybe?
Exactly.
What were you implying otherwise?
Yeah, I don't know.
Also-
So, Dirty Hooker Diesel up in Michigan. Thanks for taking care of our driver, and and we appreciate all that.
He looks
Oh
like
wow, they're in Michigan.
Yeah.
Where at in Michigan?
Harbor Beach, Michigan. It's on the east side, above where the thumb is. If you're looking at the glove. Yeah.
So you're talking about what, like the Grand Rapids area?
No. You have to pull up a map, but if you're looking at the thumb, it's kind of like on where your first knuckle is on your index finger.
What was the name of it?
Is it right-handed or
Dirty
left-handed?
Hooker Diesel in
No, I know that.
Harbor
but the
Beach, Michigan.
part- Harbor Beach.
Yep. They do a really good job. Seems like he is
Well,
overly
yeah, I
impressed with
got,
every aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it cost him $7,000 for his repair, but he had a good time.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
It ended up being way cheaper than he thought it was going to be because it wasn't the turbo; it was just the couple
Leaks and
couple small exhaust leaks. So yeah, it ended up being way cheaper than he was hoping, or
Plus-
than he was thinking it was going to be.
And plus, they threw in the tractor pool, so
Yeah, I was gonna say it
Yeah.
could be
I'm
worse.
serious.
makes a big difference.
Yep.
Never been to a mechanic and they entertained me for a day.
and it wasn't the Peterbilt dealer either, so yeah, I can
No.
imagine it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Look at those slicks on that.
Oh, it's incredible! Yeah, crazy truck. I should have sent you some more pictures, Crew. I'm sorry.
You break down next month, we'll have the rodeo.
But yeah, if you are ever broke down in Michigan, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think they're too far from where King lives.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
okay. that should be the place to go if we're up here.
Yeah,
in
that's the
Michigan,
truck that's
right?
in the shop right now that I was just looking at this estimate over here. They got back to me, Russ. They came down, but
I did see that today. So Mike got a clutch in his truck. We'll just briefly talk about it, Mike. Mike texted me last night. He goes, "Hey, what was your bill? Because we just put a clutch in a truck that Mike and I owned together that we split and paid cash for about a year ago. And I had to put a clutch in." He goes, "What was the clutch in that Lone Star?" And I said, like 5,600. It was actually 51.
Yeah, 51.
I sent him the bill and what was the hours on that, Mike? 15 or 18?
18.
18. They
was.
charged me labor hours on it. And then yours, they were charging you 34 hours.
34 hours. Yeah,
That's
it was
ridiculous.
for a clutch, batteries, and
And whatever else they wanted to throw in, apparently.
Yeah.
and
They
an oil
wanted to make
change.
sure the driver could get a reset underneath that. Yeah.
Yeah. So needless
Yeah,
to say,
right.
I sent Mike, or Ian sent Mike the bill from Rush Truck Centers where we had ours done, and I was tagged in the email he sent to their shop manager up there in Richfield that, hey, I mean, what are you guys doing here? Basically, he was nice about it, but she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me get back with you." And then I saw the new estimate; they came all the way down to 15 hours on that. That was
Yeah,
a
so they
lot
came down to
of-
15 hours on the clutch from 34.
Yeah.
Total is about 20 hours with the other stuff. It was 19 or 20 total. But even on that new estimate, Russ, that's $700 over. And I'm emailing them back right now because they have 8 batteries on their total. So it's actually going to be $700 less.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be about $800 more than that original estimate. It's going to be about $7,000 total. But about $800 more than that original estimate. But from that original estimate, there's about $1,200 more in parts.
Oh, okay.
So they, you know what I mean?
Maybe this is Google worthy, Mike, after you get done and get out of there. No names, please. I'm not going to throw them out there, but if it were me, I'd probably say something, maybe not super mean, but just say, "Hey, look, this is what happened at this shop," on their Google. And then say, "But they did correct it when I put it, when I emailed them about it, that this doesn't sound right." Because people need to know, man, that they were trying to rob you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It definitely sounds like they were trying to take advantage of them. Because the shop that you had your clutch replaced in, it's a national chain. They are not known for being
Not
particularly
cheap.
cheap.
And that's,
So-
Christian Rush Truck Centers. I mean, that's where I had the clutch done. So, and they were a little
I
over on the
will
hours. I
comment.
think 18 hours they charged. The last clutch I put in, was probably charged 14 hours.
So that makes me feel really good about what I paid on my truck.
I don't want to hear about it, Ray. He did it. He did it
you
south
gotta
of
get-
Tijuana.
Well, actually, I mean, when Duhan put a clutch in his truck, I was right at like, he got it done for like,
Wasn't it like 34?
36 or something.
Yeah, I think
It
so.
wasn't. But he didn't go to a dealer. He got it done. I think Georgia, the mechanic in Georgia there did it for him.
Did they have good entertainment for him?
Did he go to the tractor pool while they were doing it?
Yeah.
But see, also too, I have a warranty on this, on an aftermarket warranty. So I want to try to get anything covered that I can. That's why I go to a dealer a lot of the time. But the clutch, nothing's
It's not
covered
covered.
with the clutch.
It's considered a wear and tear.
Everything is listed. Yeah,
Well,
everything is after treatment.
And that's what I text you the other night, Mike. I'm like, I thought you bought a premium 2000 warranty on both those trucks, and he's like, I did, but it doesn't cover it. And I'll be
remember
honest.
mine?
I've had premium 2000 on many trucks. So has Mike. I think Ray, you might have had that warranty at one time.
I sure did.
They've been pretty good over the years for us.
Oh yeah.
They've been
they
really
have.
good. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well,
lived
my
right
other-
up because I had my whole engine rebuilt with like within 120 miles of the
wow.
warranty expiring.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mike
they
had
took care of the whole
a
thing.
similar situation with one of his
Well, my
trucks.
other truck, I got 8. I was already paid for the warranty itself. I mean, they've done about 8 or 9 grand worth of work, and that's about what the warranty costs. So I mean,
Yeah.
I got my money back out of it, and every time I've had them, I'm pretty much, got my money back.
So let me ask you this, Christian, you might know.
Yeah.
Can you just, instead of, if you're not buying through a dealer or anything, can you call Premium 2000 and add a warranty? Do you have any idea the year models that they'll cover?
So you have to call. It is specific, and I'm not sure about just premium, but I know you can get warranties put on trucks, and it depends on the mileage. But there's certain things you have to send them to get it certified. Like you have to make sure you send them the documentation, the odometer, and all that. But yeah, you can get them put on.
Okay, that's good to know because
let's get them on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Email them, Christian.
Well, you got to be careful with the warranties too, because see, I actually priced out how much, because I had all the paperwork whenever I had my truck under the Premium 2000, and I kept having after treatment breakdowns. So the last after treatment breakdown I had, I went in there, and they came out and told me, so yeah, you've already maxed out all of your warranty
on that specific part, like your DPF.
No, yeah, for the after treatment, they said you've already on everything. My whole warranty, everything that was covered under warranty, I had maxed it out already. And so I go home and I started doing the math, adding everything up. So what the Premium 2000 put into everything was right around 42, about 4,000, 4,200. And the premium and the warranty itself cost me almost $5,000 in the finance.
But they maxed you out at that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you're paying more for the warranty than you're actually paying for had you fixed it yourself.
But that wasn't Mike's experience, or
no, because with me, Ray, each part, like each section maxes out at a certain amount. Like for example, like my after treatment maxed out at $8 or $9 grand, and then like the engine maxes out at like 20,000. I think total though it is somewhere around 20 something maybe. I might be wrong. I could look, but it's somewhere total. I think everything. I think
maybe
it's like
just
20
the after
something.
treatment portion that they were telling me. It could have been because all of the repairs I had were all after treatment.
And maybe it might be a reject and deny kind of thing, because a lot of insurance companies and warranties can be a lot the same ways. They're just going to reject it and see if you fight it.
Well, I had a horrible experience with them, and you combine that with every repair took them 2 to 3 weeks to fix, and I was losing so much money. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, let's
a bad thing about them. Is
get them on the show with you, Ray, and we can talk about it with them and see.
That's it. Just unpack it on live air.
Hey. But here, keep this in mind. I've had really good experiences with them. I know Doty has, and Christian just told you he had a motor done by him. So those are big things. Those were good experiences so far for me anyway, and Christian and Mike. But I believe you can buy like specific tiers of coverage, right? Because you can buy it's cheaper. And maybe Ray, you had a lower tier of coverage, so you paid less for the warranty. Because Mike paid double what you paid for his warranty.
Yeah, my warranty was like $9 grand.
Yeah, that could be. I'm not real familiar, so you may be right.
Yeah, you were shopping at the Dollar General, and Mike was at Sears. That's the difference.
Sears.
Yeah.
Sears.
So that's what happened there. And Kumar, before we get to the trucking news with Ian, fishing contest. So we're in full swing. We've got some cool fishing pictures coming in. 500 for first place. 300 for second, and 150 for third. So how do you get your pictures into us if you don't know us? If you know us, just text, email, whatever. But submit your pictures to Talkin Truckin, no G's, TalkinTruckin@gmail.com. Or was there another way? No, that's it.
And social media too.
Oh, any of the social media.
Facebook,
any of that.
Instagram.
Send them in. Now, we've been going back and forth on this. You can submit 2 or 3. And I think you guys in a text or something you were saying, let's go with 2. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I said that.
Yeah.
To the people I mentioned it too.
So if we said 3
hand
before,
your friend the fish and take the pictures of what you're saying, right?
Yeah. And if we said 3 before and now we're saying 2, we didn't say 3 before. So so that's what it is. Send 2, and then we're gonna have a pretty cool guy that's gonna judge it. Christian's working on that. So what do you got? What are some of the entries you're seeing this week? He's got a couple to show.
If we were in a chicken.
Oh, that's Ray Nieto in cartoon form.
Yes, that's Ray.
Has he got a man bun? Did you cut your hair, Ray?
There we go. All right. So I don't know who that guy is. Just kidding. It's
Oh, that's a fish.
Mike's son.
Oh, that's
that
a
a red?
Doty?
Yeah.
Oh,
Brandon
smokes.
Doty.
Yeah.
Well, no need to throw any more pictures on.
Oh, just wait. So we got this too.
Where's that from?
It's a good haul. 3.
Barracuda.
That's Danny Trevino.
Okay.
He sent in a couple. This one is suspect, and I just wanted to pull it up just to show. Danny sent this one in.
It's
but
already stuffed.
Look at that hand.
The hand doesn't look real.
I know.
That's
So
great.
it's probably one of those little tiny hands.
There's no nails.
Yeah, he's. I know what they did with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
picture,
looking at.
trying to
Hers
make
does
the-
not have
eyeball.
fingernails.
That's funny.
The fish look huge.
That's funny.
I saw that. I was like,
dumb.
that's a big fish. And then I was like, well, wait a second.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like it though.
That's
Definitely
funny.
a doll's hand.
Oh wow.
All right.
What is that?
Jeff Grove.
Oh yeah, it's a hogfish.
A hogfish?
That's exactly
Kinda
what it
looks
looks
like
like,
Kevin.
too.
Can you eat? No, the fish or the.
They grow those.
The guy might
I
look
thought that
like
was
a-
Mike at first.
Chupacabra fish.
So Mike, can you eat those?
Yeah, those are
anything.
good eating.
Did those grow in
Good
Florida?
eating.
It looks like it's sushi already. Look at the
Yeah,
color
those
of
are
that.
in Florida.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got hot sauce on it.
He's a haircut.
Wow. That's cool.
Here's another one.
Jeez.
Jeff,
Saint-
Jeff Grove.
Same guy.
Snapper.
That's the biggest goldfish
I was
I've
gonna
ever
say the
seen.
same. Giant goldfish.
I wish he had like one small fin so it looked like that. Nemo, you know?
So what is that, Mike? You have any idea?
Snapper.
big
Red snapper.
Red snapper.
Yep.
That's a giant. How much do you think that weighs?
I don't know.
Drop it on his
I mean,
toe. Is it?
it's almost as big as the guy's upper body. And
I gotta
he
say,
looks
I
like
think
he
it was
weighs
a big boy,
plus
yeah.
200.
60 pounds.
Yeah, that's gotta be a big fish.
That's cool. Throw it back.
There's your
pretty
winner.
cool. And who? What is that? I know what that is.
Jack Suarez sent these in.
What is that? What kind of fish is that?
Dolphin.
Yeah, it's a mahi.
Oh, mahi. It's
Mahi,
not a
mahi.
dolphin, dude. Don't you know what flipper looks like?
That's a dolphin.
You know
family.
that there's a fish called the dolphin, right?
No.
Yes.
That's a Maui. Maui.
I always thought
It's a-
flipper
it's-
was the dolphin.
No, there's a mammal and a fish.
Okay.
And then here's another one from.
Whoa.
Someone shot
That's
it in
cool
the
with
head.
his shirt, though. That's a cool shot.
That's
know.
a cool picture.
Yeah. Did a bit of editing. There's quite a bit of editing on this.
It's a little
but,
HDR.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh, so we're cheating now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is
Who's
Oh,
this
that's
guy?
like
Jesus Ramos?
Jesus.
Jesus?
Josus.
It's
Supply chain
Jose.
out in the background.
I tell
Jose.
you, everybody's got cooler
It's
gear
Jose.
than I do. I go fishing in a t-shirt. You guys
Spell
have
it,
like
Kumar.
wicked hats.
Josue.
That's all they sell down here.
Ho-
If you buy
J-
clothes down here, it's what you
I
get.
do.
how
You
do you
should check your receipt from last week, Mike.
Josue would be Josu.
Josue.
Right, Ray?
Josue. Yes, Josue.
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 You say feng shui?
Josue is Josue. Yeah, it's
No, that's a beautiful
That's
fish.
a nice
though.
fish.
That is cool.
That is not really good end rate. I'm just kidding.
We got some good pictures coming in, man. These are cool.
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know
It's
if
me
you got
down
out
in
of the
Boca.
water. Does that count?
So this message goes out to all the Sneeds. You got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, it ain't
Were
gonna
you
happen this
tickling
year,
the
fellas,
fish?
yeah.
Looks like you were tickling it.
The fish whisperer.
So
Tickling.
Mike, are you saving
I
yours
communicate
for
with that
like
fish.
the last week or something? You know, saving the best for
No,
last?
That's Doty, isn't
That's
it?
one right there.
That's Dodie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go through it now. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, if we're allowed
And
to edit
this-
them, I'm going to take some pictures off Google
I
and
don't
make some.
know.
That's Nate Garner and
it's not.
Kevin Lewis.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a second. It's the email
Those
was
are two
R.
nice fish.
Buzaki. So
Buzaki,
Those are
nice fish.
Those are
Thanks
slick.
for the submissions, guys.
yeah.
Yeah, those are tarpon and
Good,
red.
pretty
Do you know what are those, Mike?
It's a redfish.
That's a
and
tarpon and a
Tarpon.
redfish.
Okay. Wow.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
It doesn't look very red to me.
So, you know, Ray, if this was a chicken contest, you'd be the winner.
yeah, I might win.
That's great. So yeah, keep sending them in. It's going to be fun this year. We got people from all over joining, from Alaska down to South Florida, from Maine to New Mexico.
Let's ride.
So Mike, so Creech, are you with us? Did Nate ever get back?
Yeah, I had to mute.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
So-
I finally made it on.
Nate made it. Nate, where are you?
Laredo.
Laredo. Put the burrito down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's time for
Yep.
the show.
What's the temperature down there?
140.
It's a good question. I haven't checked. 100 degrees.
Wow.
In the shade.
That's a cool day over there.
Uh-huh.
Just see.
Heck,
77.
the last time I was down here, it was 115 degrees.
Yeah.
Recap laying all over the highway.
So, Creech, is your phone working now?
Yeah.
Okay. Creech he's got a picture he wants to tell us about. You got it, Kumar?
Yep.
It's picture week, I guess, episode 67.
Yeah, a lot of pictures.
Show and tell week.
Yeah. This happened in trucking. Creech was there. So, Creech, give us a rundown here. What's going on? What are we looking at?
Okay, so this happened August 3rd of 2021 while I was heading down to North Carolina. This is this is on the southbound lanes, right after the way station. I mean, literally right after the way station. I-85, a truck had just gotten cleared to leave the way station and decided he was going to go from the on-ramp all the way to the left lane in one shot.
Wow.
Rubbin's racing, Harry.
So
yeah.
So he was really happy that he got the green light and just bypass.
Gotta get out of here before they pull me back in.
No, I gotta go back in.
So
So-
he jerked all the way over to the left lane.
Yeah, he let his guard down because he got the bypass.
He clipped her bumper, and she went into a roll and went airborne, got ejected from her car.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
I asked him about this last night.
Seatbelts,
He said
everybody.
she did live.
Yeah, she
So
walked
that's good.
away from it. The worst
Wow.
damage she had a cut on her forehead. That was it.
Wow.
No broken bones,
That's incredible.
nothing.
Wow.
You lived to sue
And
him,
that's the
huh?
lady who cut everybody off?
No, the truck
No,
cut
she-
her off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Victim
it was
blaming
the
again.
trucker was at fault.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the thing-
she's gonna
Had
live.
much chaser.
Now here's the thing. You ready for the kicker on it?
There was a chicken
Fourth-
trying to cross the
Fourth
road.
time. Fourth time he'd done that to somebody. That's the fourth time. And his response was, I don't know why it keeps happening to me.
Here's your sign.
All right.
Wow.
So, needless to say, Creech, keep it safe out there and pay attention to the four-wheelers. And, our families are out there, right?
And sometimes if you find yourself that you're a driver and you've got 2 years experience and you've done this 3 or 4 times, you might want to just find a different career.
Yeah.
Like, it is a very dangerous industry we're in. So it's not for everybody,
Right.
and the consequences
Uber
of being in
driver.
the wrong profession here. It's not like, coaching a kid's soccer team where you lose by like 3 points, like it's life or death. So yeah.
And having been on
get
both
training
sides
before you get out there too.
And Christian, you're 100% right. And having been on both sides, I have family, and I've been in a personal car, and I was a trucker, and I've been in a truck, and we need to be safe both ways. I was aggravated at four-wheelers every day, just like everybody else, but also my family's out there too, and I have to look at every car on the road like that might, that could be my family in another truck somewhere else, back home. So we have to pay attention to both. So, needless to say, be safe.
Yeah, when Creech sent me that last night, I slightly panicked for a minute, and then I was like, "Oh, it probably isn't him that was involved in that."
Yeah, no, we were talking on the phone about it last night. And I'm glad she lived, Creech.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that really made me feel bad for her, though, is it wasn't even her car. It was a friend's car that was letting them use it to move.
Wow.
I'm just glad. Yeah.
Well, there's insurance for cars. You can't insure lives.
Insurance
like that.
didn't cover it.
They have something called life insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Doesn't repair it. What were you going to say, Dodie?
No, I was going to say one thing with the truck. I have as least patience as anyone, but when you're driving
know.
a truck, man. There's really no, come on.
You know, the Mike, the more you talk about not being on the road, the safer I feel. Because every time you talk, like, man, I just wouldn't slow down. I
I'm
go 80
just
miles an hour
honest.
every direction.
You're just being honest.
We know. You're very honest. You're spot on.
But you really don't have. No, you really don't have to be in a hurry to go anywhere when you're in a truck. Because all you're doing is hurry up to wait somewhere, wait at a shipper, wait in traffic. You know, wait at a receiver.
Did I tell you guys that I got pulled over? I think I did mention it on the show a few weeks ago. Does anyone remember? Or it might have been here in the office.
Yeah.
Okay, I did. So I got pulled over. I was taking Johnny, my son, home. It was on I don't know, it was the end of the week, Sunday. And there was traffic on the kind of state route that I usually take because they were doing road construction. It was way backed up on the way there. And it's a 45-minute ride each way. So I decided, well, I'm going to cut through the woods and, you know, go a different way home after I dropped him off. And I'm cool, man, cutting through some back roads, you know, and I know the area real well. And then all of a sudden I get behind this and I could tell she's, you know, this older hippie lady.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
And she's looking around at the trees and the flowers and everything. And she's good. It's a 45-mile-an-hour road. She's going 30. And then the cars start building up behind me, and it's hilly. It's up and down. So there was.
Did you have your big truck?
No, I had the Jeep Wrangler. But I'm sitting behind her, and I'm not an aggressive driver by any means. But I'm just like frustrated. I'm like, I just want to get home. And this is already going to take me 15 minutes longer if she's not in front of me. It took a while. And finally, we come up across a hill, and I could see for a good ways there was no cars coming. But I still had a double line. There's a line of cars behind me. I just step out on the left side, punch it around her, and then I get back and I start doing 45. Get up the road about a mile. Here comes the state troopers. And I'm like, the guy walks up and says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Now by the time he's talking to me, here she comes passing us and all the other cars passing us. And I'm sitting there, you know, the look of shame. And he's standing there at the Jeep, and I said, "No, honestly, I don't." I said, and I had my license out, and my hands out the door with everything. I said, "No, sir, honestly, I don't. I wasn't speeding." And he said, "Well, I pulled you over because you passed in a no passing zone. What are you in such a hurry for?" And then I started to tell him, and he goes, "Well, hold on." And he ran my stuff, came back, and he said, he said, "I'm gonna let you go, or have a nice night, Mr. Deaton. Slow it down." And I got a break because I have not had a ticket since I was like 21.
You didn't see him. Well, he saw you.
He saw me. Well, he did tell me. He said, I told him, I said, "Look, man, there was a line of cars behind me." And I said, "She was going 30. He goes, "I know. I was 2 cars behind you." And that's how I got busted.
He should have pulled her over for going too slow.
Yeah.
No joke. Man, you need to at least be going 55 on this.
So needless to say,
you're right, Russ.
At the end of the day, I shouldn't have gotten in a hurry. And, you know, was it safe for me to pass? I believe it was, but it wasn't legal. So that was my fault. My bad. He did let me go.
And this was a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
Well, I'll bet you do it again.
So, Ian, what's going on in trucking news?
Well, first, going to get into this day in history. We are doing July 30th. This is 1975. Jimmy Hoffa disappears from a parking lot outside Detroit, Michigan, at a restaurant he was at around 2:30 p.m., where he is never heard from again.
Back to the mob stuff, Christian.
Ba-bam.
Yeah, not touching it.
Was
you guys laugh when I say that, but if you all go missing one day, I'm like, all right, well, I guess the show will go on. Christian's here. Guess what we're not talking about.
It's funny that you know how TikToker things. That's all I got, but it'll follow what you like on there. So Joel sends me stuff, and then I start liking all this mob stuff. So every time I get on TikTok, I got a mob story popping up.
Yeah,
you know,
forget about it.
Yeah,
I've done that in a while. I'm gonna start that again.
Oh, I love it.
All right, we're getting back into weekly mob stories. Let's do it. All right, this week we're gonna start out talking about HR 2187, and I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Do you guys find lots of parking out there when you're in your big trucks, or is there not enough?
I can tell you the answer to that.
Is there too much parking?
That's why I used to start at 3 a.m. so I could get in early enough to find a place to park.
So it depends on what time you stop.
All right. So, government's putting together a package. They've already put it together. It's making its way through the House onto the Senate. But they are looking at giving about $755 million in order to build some more parking for you guys. I think it's something that's been long awaited and definitely needs to happen. It's as they say right in here, it's not safe. With how things are, you guys have to go drive extra miles, violate your hours. This happens all the time. And I'm sure there's accidents that
last night.
Yeah, I'm sure there's accidents that could be directly correlated to this. So,
what is so they're gonna improve highway safety by addressing the parking.
Yeah, and the way they're gonna do it is by giving out different grants. I'm hoping just to the states themselves. What my nightmare of this is that they're going to give it to a bunch of truck stops. They're going to give it to Love's. They're going to give it to the other big ones, and they're going to just take all the money and build like 5 parking spots. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. I hope it goes into rest areas,
right?
Because those seem to be a lot more useful, even though there isn't as many facilities there.
Well, there's
a lot more.
They're just not like hot food.
Yeah. It's a little lacking with the facilities, but they still have place for you to use the restroom.
4 hours at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
You run out of time.
I'd like to ask you guys a question and hear your opinion on this. But the state of Virginia is one of those states where they put no parking signs all over the shoulders on the entrance and exit ramps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these ramps are huge. You can park a whole bunch of trucks there, but yet. Is it me or is it like a trap? Because they know that these trucks are going to park there. Last night I saw the state troopers all these exit ramps, giving tickets to these trucks.
So is that what it is, Christian?
I'm not going to say it's not there. Sometimes that they do give you tickets and sometimes you don't. So, I mean, you feel safe and then all of a sudden you wake up or you're being woken up.
Mm-hmm. Someone's pounding.
It's hit or miss.
That's a lot.
And a lot of times it's at the exit where there's already a truck stop, and these truck stops are full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're there with the you see the driver all asleep, halfway asleep, and they're there with the lights on, writing tickets or telling them they got to move one or the other. But why do they have such a big shoulder? If for me it's almost like
a setup.
Like
a setup.
Entrapment is the word you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm just
honestly, if we're talking about safety, instead of waking up a driver in the middle of his 10-hour break in a safe spot where he's off the highway, how about just put a ticket? If it's a money grab, just put a ticket under his windshield wiper, and then he can deal with it tomorrow and go that route instead of waking him up and breaking his sleep.
Yeah, because I don't know about you guys, but I do not think straight when I'm first woken up. I mean, should not be driving. Absolutely not.
And then they make them move. I've been moved
10-hour
before.
break is down.
I got off and on the on ramp or on the off ramp and then moved over across the highway. I always felt safer on the on ramp side because you don't have anybody coming up behind you fast. And I pulled over with 2 or 3 trucks, and then it was woken up in the middle of the night. And they didn't give me a ticket. I think this was in PA the last time, but they didn't give me a ticket, but they did make me move. And there I'm in violation. At the time, I drove in violation because I could not find another place to park. I was in Harrisburg area. There was nowhere to park, so I drove a long ways before I could find a place to park. So
wow.
And I don't agree with this money grab with any of these states, but I'm just saying there's got to be a better way. If that's what you're going to do to raise money for your state or for your county or whatever kind of person giving the ticket, just put it under the let them finish the night, their break there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not only that, but where do you want them to go too? Because there's really nowhere for them to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, they don't care.
Walmart,
just move.
Phoenix PD don't care.
You can't go to Walmart anymore either.
I was about to say Walmart boots now.
I know they do.
Wow.
I used to park at a lot of Walmarts.
There are some out there that are
good
still decent. Yeah, they'll let you.
With that being said, there is a parking suggestion that I've put forward a couple over the years. I'm wondering what y'all think of it. In a lot of these states, you find these medians that have like 5 lanes wide.
Oh yeah.
Why not make like a 2-lane wide or a 3-lane wide right in the center? Put a barrier on each side of it, but it runs the entire length of the highway.
I agree with you. I think there's a place for that. I've thought of that. I don't think it was my idea. I think someone's, or even Joel maybe, or Ray mentioned it to me too. But that's a great idea. That it really is. So maybe you should email them that, Ian, about that HR 2187. They have the property between lanes.
Mm-hmm. Why not use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will tell you what I do though when it's late at night and all the truck stops are full. Now it doesn't work so much at a TA. 'Cause TA has security. They want you to keep on moving. They don't want you to park outside of a spot. But at the Loves especially, what I'll do is I'll park right in front of all the trucks that are parked, and I'll pull my brake and I'll just sit up in the front seat and wait because eventually somebody's gonna come out. But I don't go back to the sleeper and go to sleep, But some half the time somebody will say, "Hey, I'm about to leave in 15 minutes. If you want to set up, whenever I roll out of here, you can grab the spot." And they're nice. Some guys are nice enough to tell you, and that gives me an idea of which one's coming out, and I can pull forward and set my truck up for it.
Yeah.
So you're blocking my view.
Yeah. What I used to do, Ray, is I'd pull in the fuel island, and then I'd pull forward, and then go and take a shower, get some dinner at the TA, and come back out, crawl in the sleeper, stay right there.
Close the front curtains.
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
Go ahead, Ian. You know where that works at a lot is if you get if there's any cold storages nearby, like that deliver those nighttime deliveries, and you roll in a truck stop late. A lot of times you can get people pulling out. So between like 11 and
when
2
guys got
a.m.
night deliveries and stuff.
Yep.
Reefer drivers tend to run at night too. So
also another thing I used to do was I would just roll around a neighborhood, like an industrial area, and find a place, because there's all kinds of industrial parks that don't have gates. They're just and they get deliveries, and I would just back up right into their dock and start my 10, and when they come in the morning,
I'm in the wrong place. Oopsie.
Yeah, I got the wrong place here.
I've suggested that a few times.
I've been caught though a few times where they came in at like 6, and I rolled in there at like midnight, and I didn't have enough time to leave, so I tried to stall for a while, and then finally had to move.
That's when you go and you prop your hood open.
It won't start.
Broke down.
But
all of a sudden you don't speak a word of English.
Yeah, that usually doesn't help, Ray. That just gets a little mad.
But also, if I'm talking about a small place that doesn't have a place to fit me, usually what I would try and find is a warehouse or something in an industrial park that I would be out of the way, not by their car parking lot, area, and not in a dock too. And I've gotten away with that many times.
Nowadays too, with the technology and Google Maps and the street views, you could almost plan and pick out a spot for you, or see if they got a spot anywhere near where you're delivering where you can pull off and park if it's an industrial place like that. You can pretty much, with the street view stuff,
and honestly,
pretty much see
when I was on the road, Mike, we didn't have Uber, so I had a bicycle. Usually I would strap to my catwalk area, and I could get out of there and go get some food or whatever I need to do. But now, if you do have to park in an industrial park area or somewhere and just camp out, you could call an Uber. You see addresses are on the building. You can call an Uber and go where you need to go to the truck stop, get a shower, whatever. I'm just saying there are a lot more options with the way things are these days for that. But parking is a huge problem, Ian.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on.
Did the article talk about how many spaces of parking we're going to get for that money, so we know the cost per square foot?
No.
Cost per unit? Okay.
They're just throwing money out there right now.
Right. Yeah. I just didn't know if they had some sort of estimation, or at least maybe a market map of where they want to end up, trying to put more locations, so they don't just put them all in Roanoke, Virginia, where nobody stops.
One other thing I just noticed here at the bottom, they are also going to try and convert existing spaces that aren't being used, inspection sites, weigh stations, and closed rest areas. So yeah, they're going to try and convert some of those over to rest areas, because now I'm thinking about it, a lot of those weigh stations
are closed.
But they should be rest stops, even when
there are parking places.
Exactly.
At a lot of them. And you can park there, but you know what happens? In the morning, they got to set up when you pull in and park that you got to go back through the scale, and they got a chance to inspect you. And that's happened to me. That's why only probably once, and then
You
I
learned
was
your
like,
lesson.
yeah, I'm not parking there. I'll violate first.
We should start to go buy all the old Kmart buildings and charge for parking. Just have the government pay for the parking. We get a free building out of it.
Yeah.
All right,
There-
you
I mean,
guys
there's a
are-
lot of those type buildings and markets that are closed down that could be.
Yeah, sadly,
Parking.
yep.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So this one, I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about. Portland is talking about banning the sale of fossil-based diesel fuels within city limits. And what they want to do is try and promote electric trucks and biodiesels, but I think they're just going to completely stop sales.
What about CNG trucks? Is that?
Nope, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's not fossil-based diesel.
I guess.
So.
They
And
don't like
are you
stuff,
talking
huh?
about Portland, Maine? Where's that coming out of?
No, Portland, Oregon.
Okay, so
You should have known.
imagine that to
Christian.
go about as well as to defund the police.
the
You know,
lunatics.
it'll go one way, then it'll come back the other.
Would it
I mean,
be a
Portland is
terrible
pretty-
thing if there was an earthquake and that whole side of the U.S. just fell in the water? Did I say that out loud?
I mean, Oregon seems pretty cool. you know. Washington seems kind
Most
of
of
cool.
the state. Most of the state.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately, I think it's the people that make the decisions. That's not most of the people living there paying taxes for this
It's
kind of
the
thing.
major
'cause,
cities.
and they're going
The
to,
whole West is beautiful. It's all beautiful out there.
yeah.
Just get rid of the people.
That's all I got for you.
I love the picture they used. Like, you go back to that picture real quick. Of every picture they could use, they just have like a water pooled budget in photo.
That's true.
And a Volvo truck.
What's that got to
Yep.
do with gas?
Looks very Portland.
Yeah.
All right, CVSA break week's coming up.
She's
It will
enjoying
be between August 21st and 27th, all across North America.
Change your oil while you're down there.
Are these guys making up for COVID or something? There's like a blitz every 2 weeks now.
Yes, it's about every month and a half since March. Yep.
They got to find a way to keep their jobs. Okay, they got to find a way to keep making that money.
It was hard to inspect trucks remotely.
Well, yeah, and there were a lot of
Pandemic.
limits that were pushed back on tagging vehicles and everything else. I'm not saying that's the reason they're doing it, it's to catch up, but yeah, they're regulating.
What are the tips?
Generating revenue.
All right, well, don't worry about that. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this. The Brink's heist that was on I-5 stole. Oh, they're trying to figure out, but anywhere from $10 million to $100 million in jewels. A couple of Brink's guys went for a break at a truck stop at Flying J, and came back
They stole
to
the truck,
their.
or they just emptied it out.
No, yeah, they emptied it out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was an inside job.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
got to
like
be.
Want some Subway? Yeah.
I mean,
They must have put both of us in the truck so we can both leave and go to lunch at the same time. So
We,
Right.
we might as well get a
It-
shower after we eat. you
and it
know
was
what I'm
at
saying?
2 a.m. too. So
Yeah.
10 million
I
is
thought-
gems.
extremely
I thought
fishy.
you were gonna say something because you're saying it's like the Brink's armor trucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say something. 'Cause I was actually watching something the other day on the police are pulling over these armored trucks in I think Arizona,
police.
California. It has to do with certain counties, and they're literally stealing all the money from these trucks, and they're doing it legally.
That sounds
How-
like civil asset forfeiture. Yeah.
Who stole?
Forfeiture.
So they
The
have any
police.
idea who did this yet, or is there any speculation?
Well, I
yet?
think they need to start asking the two drivers. It's probably
Well, you
their
know,
buddy.
that they stopped at
Scroll
something.
down
But-
a little bit, Ian. There's a huge discrepancy between 10 and 100 million.
Yeah.
A federal
trying to
law
figure it out.
enforcement
they're trying to figure out whether they're
When-
self-insured or not. That's what they're trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
right.
Yeah. When it comes to jewelry and modern art, it can say it's worth a lot, but
So the range is 10 million to 100
Oh,
million.
okay. I get
in
Brinks
value.
is like, no, it's just 10 million, and whoever
We can't
stuff
ping
it
it,
was
though.
is going, no, it's 100 million.
Yeah,
now
That's
that
right.
It's gone.
You forgot a zero, you idiot.
I see now.
yeah. So it says the gang of thieves was able to quickly bypass the truck's trailer locking mechanism, enter its vast back, and unload a series of storage containers. So if they got in that quickly, somebody had the key.
There
Or
it
the
is.
combination.
Sounds like
or-
it's the first time they've ever done this, guys.
Yeah. Driver's in on it.
Made me think of
You bail me
the
out, and I'll throw you 100 million.
heist from the movie Heat. If you guys ever seen that.
So Nate, where were you last week when this was going on?
Nowhere
This
to be
one's
found.
interesting. New York troopers are going undercover to pretend to be construction workers in order to pull people over. So stop going those triple digits through them work zones because they're going to get you. This is actually pretty smart. It really is. I mean, everybody slows down when they see a cop, but not always when they see construction workers. So.
I speed up.
Okay.
Oh, that's sneaky.
All right, Kumar, you are booted from the show. But I mean, this is pretty smart. I gotta
Did
give
it
it to
work for
him.
10,000 points?
And it's gonna be
Takes off
yeah,
after you
it's
with the orange sirens.
looking out for construction workers, which
Pull over.
they need to be looked out for.
They do.
Yep.
Yeah, because they get hit a lot.
They do.
More than you think. There was my brother was talking to a guy who did construction on the highway, and he was hit 4 times in 1 year.
Wow.
Wow.
Talk about
Now, all
finding a new-
just like they just nicked him or just
find a new job there too.
sideswiped him a little bit, but it could have been a lot worse.
Just sideswiped him like that.
Right. That's what he said though. So
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
got my
make
shirt.
that-
Don't worry.
That fluorescent.
He's naked on the side of the
fluorescent
highway.
lights is brighter.
whoopsie, not again. 9 cows killed after semi-truck strikes herd on Oklahoma highway. I wanted to pull this up so we could look at some of these pictures. I mean, look at that. Wow, tore the tire off.
Brake chamber's still intact. That's pretty impressive.
Right. But your tire,
reusable.
your wheel's not supposed to face that far to. Yeah.
Those cows are heavy.
I'm surprised.
Is the cow okay?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
Killed 9 of them.
9 cows died.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Jim, you
Was
got
it fatal?
Jim Mackey.
Was
Jim
it a fatal
Mackey,
death?
What do these cows weigh? Would you say a full size cow, Jim?
Well, it depends on what kind of cow.
I don't think so.
9 cows. What are
Is
you
it for
hammered out?
beef?
when
Is
he's
it for
sold?
dairy?
I don't think it matters if he's
Wander off on the interstate.
Jim. We must have lost Jim again.
Like 1,500 pounds or 2,000 pounds?
I was going
I
to say
don't know.
25, 2 to 25, yeah.
Yeah,
A couple dozen at least.
that's a lot of weight though.
Yeah.
You're hitting.
Yeah.
That's bad when they pulled a bulldozer to move the cattle up.
Man, they
Right?
must have been all grouped together right in the middle of the road because I'm trying to figure out how you hit
Right.
Exactly.
They must have.
take out
Exactly.
9 cows.
They must have escaped the
Yep.
cattle.
Yeah,
place.
You
well,
know,
they-
it's, the unfortunate
think-
part is the farmer's responsible for them still.
Exactly. Yeah.
They were looking for the chicken in the parking lot.
Yeah.
They were, yeah,
I
I think they were trying to figure out where they had come from because they okay, yeah. It isn't clear why the animals were in the roadway. So
No, but it said it was a quarter mile of truck and animal debris.
Wow.
That's
I mean, he must have like 9
And think
cows.
about-
That's-
how many stomachs does a cow have?
I don't know.
I think it's
Not
5.
enough.
That's Mackey.
Ground beef.
7.
What's your
At least 2.
Let's see.
Could you imagine if Joel was out there? He's like, "There's so much roadkill."
I'm surprised.
gonna
I
let
don't
this
see
go to
any
waste?
more on that.
That's a lot of steak.
I don't see any on that truck. I keep looking
Get a
for it.
Ziploc bag.
Oh man. But anyways, this made me have a flashback to when one of our drivers hit a horse on I-40. Which
Yes.
I still have the picture hanging up in my office.
You do. I
love
see it
pointing
from
that out
here.
to people when they come here.
Early in the morning, the horse escaped and ran across the road in front of him, and
And-
Shannon took
yep.
out the horse.
And his fender too.
Yeah, it was the farmer's fault too. It was the horse farm.
Oh, this was an interesting one. Undercover drug buy turns into a hostage situation in Columbus, or not Columbus, in Kentucky. Yeah, there were some cool pictures. I think they have one of. They
So it
found
had to do
an
with
AR-15, a bunch of drugs
In the tractor trailer?
Yes. Oh, in the truck. Yeah, in the truck. But yeah, it ended up turning into a hostage situation, which I don't think anyone was injured.
That's good.
But yeah, crazy people out there. oh, this one was really cool. This was out in Idaho. They have these things called Mormon crickets, which they just breed like crazy at some times, and they have to clear the roads because it
Yeah, the
becomes
plow
too
'em?
slick. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They're a grader right here.
They're polygamist
Yeah.
crickets.
That's why they don't like them. But yeah, they actually have to clear the road from bugs. I thought that was crazy.
Wow.
You know, what we need to do is we need to get a vacuum truck up there. We can make a lot of money on those crickets, guys.
Yeah. Look at all the fish
we
bait
could
have.
sponsor our fish contest with it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Some
next
chocolate.
competition, Coomer's gonna eat some Mormon crickets.
Yes.
Or beef.
2 weeks of Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's got to be those videos you see of those things just flying around and basically
Yeah.
looks black, almost.
Usually
like
it's
it
locust.
blacks out or grays out. Is that what it is?
Yeah, usually is so. And then last thing, this was a new
is
Western
that?
Star.
Western
Oh
Star,
my
yeah.
god, this thing is.
That's nice.
Every truck should be built like this.
I can't see anything.
But I just want to show you guys 'cause it's freaking gorgeous. The inside is. Let's go and get a video. Where's that at?
It would be better if it wasn't white.
I don't know. That
Wow,
looks
that's
pretty nice.
nice.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
What? Something wrong with your computer? Oh, well, you can watch the show on
I don't know. I
Friday,
thought
you'll
the
see.
inside would be a little bigger.
I thought
compared
so
to-
too.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool though. Where's the
Ergonomically.
Yeah,
That's the
bunk area.
Yeah, the bed right there. Lots of overhead space.
I like the LED lighting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Here's
So they give you a price on that?
$3 billion.
Yeah, it's electric too.
That seems like a good deal.
It's electric.
Good deal.
Let's see if I can get
It's
it
a
to turn around
Tesla,
there.
Western Tesla.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's the Portland edition.
I'm gonna guess. I don't know, 300.
Oh, it gotta be.
Oh yeah,
Maybe,
Yeah, I think
maybe
these-
I'm low.
It might
probably.
even be a little low.
Yeah, I
for-
think those. I think I saw some of those ones from ARI, those legacy sleepers.
Yeah.
For like I want to say it's like 360 or something.
Oh yeah, that might be 4.
I know where you guys can get a cheaper one. Dave Jablonski
Yeah,
is still
just
trying to sell his.
Yeah, just the LED lights are like $6,000.
Yeah, this is way too long of a video. I was like, hold on. Bathroom, shower, of course, yeah. This would have been ideal for COVID. You never have to leave your truck.
Yeah, you can poop in the shower at the same time.
You guys don't do that?
Yeah,
The drain stomper?
I like the fold down television from the
That's
top.
sweet.
Yeah, that is real impressive.
That's cool. I never really get to
I want to see
I've
if
only
that
seen a
TV
few.
mount is secure at 500,000 miles. That's what I want to
Yeah.
say.
And then we'll look at the cab real quick.
It's an automatic,
Yeah.
which I'm cool with now. I've only drove one, maybe. a
Henry
couple of
Albert.
just- Yeah, I'm cool with them. Fuel mileage and a lot of other reasons.
Those seats are offset pretty far. Looks like the back seats. You look how far back the back
Oh,
seat
yeah.
of the passenger
It
seats
does
is.
kind of look like that, yeah.
Mhm.
I bet you it spins around, right?
Yep.
Recliner.
But yeah, anyways, next week we're giving one of these away. Submit your fishing pictures.
We're doing the lottery Friday. So.
Just kidding.
I'm gonna go get my CDL now.
Yeah.
So,
nice job, Ian.
Over $1 billion now.
Thank you.
yeah, thanks, Ian. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Christian, Doty, who wants to go first? We did basically like a mock draft,
Phone's ringing.
or like fantasy football, but fantasy dispatcher, whatever you want to call it. We both. So here was the ground rules we set. We started, the three of us, in the same city on a Wednesday, which Milwaukee, and then how we'd run our fantasy truck or mock truck.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
phone is this?
Let's figure this out real quick. Who's
Christian?
Christian, he
What's
looks
that?
guilty.
No, that's my phone. No.
Oh.
Want to be found dead with that ringtone, guys.
So weird. It stopped when you picked up yours.
Well, I was picking a look up to find out whether we were starting in Wednesday in Wisconsin. So that's
Yeah, so we started Wednesday morning, Wisconsin, and the next Wednesday morning, wherever. So who wants to go first?
Mine doesn't start in Wisconsin, so you guys go first.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason I read the text as saying start in Roanoke, so I started in Roanoke. So
That was
wasn't
one of
even
my-
brought up.
Roanoke, Wisconsin.
Mike texted me earlier. Wait, we're doing this week? And I'm like, yeah. I'm not even responding to that, Mike.
I was doing mine during the first half of the show. So
Yeah. All right. So what do you got, Mike?
Let's see.
I'm the one that said I was going to do my homework and make Daddy proud, and here I am doing it during the show out of Roanoke.
Hang on, where is
Roanoke
can we go
wasn't
to
even in the text. Between
screen?
the
How
three
do I
of us.
screen
Not
share?
at all.
What, your dog eat yours, Mike?
The fish did. The shrimp. He's at the bait shop.
All right, let's see.
The tarpon did.
How do I screen share?
Somebody shoplifted it.
When you hit screen share, you just look
Gotta
towards the middle
welcome
of it.
Somebody stole his homework.
Oh, share screen. Got you.
Is that bourbon, Russ? Or
What's
coffee?
that?
Is that bourbon
All
or
right, can
coffee?
you guys
No,
see
no,
this?
no, it's coffee.
Sponsored by
So I got-
Buffalo Trace.
Okay, so
I
see,
did
Christian, he
two.
started in Milwaukee.
Well, he also
So I did
follows
two-
instructions.
So I did two different things. This will be interesting. This one is one of them. This is I had to do two. I didn't realize I could add another one. I thought I was maxed out. So there's going to be two things here. Now this is tight. I think it's like 30. It totals is 33.59 on the miles. But there's that 8th day, Wednesday to Wednesday. So it's kind of 8 days really.
As long as you're delivering Wednesday morning.
Yeah, Wednesday morning. So first, and these are all, I did all short loads. So if we're being honest, one of these would probably fall through and all this would fall apart. So from
not in
Illinois,
this market.
from Illinois to Michigan, that one, let's see the details here. 300 miles, looks like that one was 1175. Then I did Ohio to PA, 1270.
1270 on how many miles? Like 300 or something? I don't know where you were going.
This is the wrong, hold on.
It looks like he went south from...
Never mind. Hold on, I got the wrong. That's another one.
It was $500.
You don't get extra. You don't get more points for extra credred, Mike. All they just
Here
do
we
is
go.
do the assignment.
Milwaukee to Illinois, 1175. Ohio to PA.
Can you screen share again, Mike?
Oh, there.
Yeah, it went away.
Silence.
It's like he's fishing.
Which screen? Okay.
Bunting Webbit.
So all of these, real quick, so for the people that don't know, we went through and we just looked at the boards, right? And just did the posted rate, no negotiating. So these are just all mocked up dispatches.
Fantasy truck driver. This is our dispatcher. So here was the ground rules that we made. You got to take something off the, DAT, truck stop, whatever you want to use. It has to be a broker that we work with. So it's not like someone new that would post a big rate out there to get people to set up with them. It has to be someone we work with already and are set up with. And it has to be a posted rate so that they didn't just put it out there with no rate. This is overlooking our customer freight. Christian, we all run customer freight, so this is strictly spot market, just for a fantasy dispatch.
Mm-hmm. And these are, I was just going to say something. And these are, posted rates, no negotiating, and anyway, I forgot where I was going with that.
These were real, we just didn't get them.
Yeah. Oh no, these were from today. These are all posted loads from today till next Wednesday.
Okay, that's about the same thing I did.
Yeah. So Illinois to Michigan, 1175. Ohio to PA, 1270. PA to New York, 1210. New York to Ohio. And again, I went on brokers we use. I went on and found loads, like I'm doing a lot now because of rates and stuff like that. Found loads that delivered over the weekend. So I got loads in here that deliver on Saturday, pick Saturday, deliver Sunday, pick Sunday,
right?
That sort of thing. And
so you ended on Wednesday morning in New York, upstate New York. Is that what?
No. This is. I thought I was out of.
So you two
locations over here. So there's two maps. Yeah.
So you got to New York when?
So New York would be. Let me see. This was Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday. New York was Saturday, and then pick on Saturday, deliver on Sunday in Canton.
They're not open on Saturday.
He's done. No. Go ahead, Mike.
Ohio to South Carolina, 1610. That is on. Let me know if this doesn't share. So this is the second map.
Okay.
He delivered in Canton.
Yeah, went
That'd
over
be
to
Sunday.
Finley.
Right one.
That place.
Yeah, went to Finley.
Yeah, Jonesville, and then he ends. So this one does end in New York. Total. Wait a minute. Am I on?
You're right. Yeah, we're just over 3,000 some odd miles total. 3,300.
Okay, yeah. All right, so it's about 3,350 on the miles, and it was 9,075, 270 a mile on all miles.
Okay.
That's what we
Ends
do.
in not that great of a place. But one thing I want to point out, one thing I wanted to say with this is it just kind of turned out this way, and I was looking on DAT, but then I just went this way so people could kind of see you can do it and get by almost anywhere if you plan right. But this is all off CH Robinson.
Okay.
Every one of these loads is CH.
And I've noticed lately, probably most of this year, Mike has been booking freight that he's finding loads that pick up on Saturday or Sunday, where he can deliver on Saturday and pick up and kind of utilize shorter runs on the weekend. I'm always afraid to do that, I'll be honest. But Mike, most of the time you make it works.
I've had good luck. I've ran into a problem here or there.
Here or there, and I did had to I think the last problem was Master's truck was probably a month or so ago. His load fell through on a Sunday, and I happened to be on call, but I didn't have any trouble. He was on the phone with me, and I rebooked him on something else. And
4th of July too. I had two guys delivering all through the weekend, and got lucky there.
Yeah,
delivered on 4th of July too.
I always
it pays off when it works.
It does, and I'm always afraid to do it. I'm just like, ugh, I know what's going to happen. But Mike seems to pull it off more often than not.
So that was one thing that I did. So that was 33 on 9,000. And I just wanted to show you this because as I was doing this one, I saw, I guess what you say, I don't want to say who. It was a load posted on I'll put it to you like this. So this was another route that went like this anyway, and ended in Charlotte. Now there was two things to this route, and I'm trying to say this without saying too much, but anyway, I put it together through loads on DAT and CH, and the total was 83.67 at 251 a mile. And the reason I wanted to bring this one up is because this is the difference between maybe having that one customer load you do for the week, because I know that there's a load in here who I know that it pays $4,600, but on DAT, this particular person had it posted for $3,600. I still ran that load on this mock draft thing, but the difference is 83.67 at 251 a mile or 95.67 at 287 a mile.
Because the one would have been a customer load had we not been doing a fantasy dispatcher.
And it was on DAT. But I'm just saying, like that can be the difference too. One good customer load, if you have or not even a customer load, just if you have that contact, one a week. I mean, that was the difference of 36 cents a mile. 36 cents a mile
putting you
for the
closer
whole week.
$3, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So
that does make a difference. We're doing that in real life, guys. It's just we're just doing, like I said, a mock of this without using any customer freight, just to see if you're an owner operator that's strictly running off of spot market freight. This is how we would do it.
And and it was put together quick. And I thought that having that showing that because I saw that load posted on DAT,
Yeah.
So, but having one good load a week can make the difference of 35 cents a mile.
The whole week.
Yeah.
And really, that extra $1,000 or $1,200 that load pays, I mean, is at that point is all profit, because you're still making money at 251 a mile, but 287 is a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mike. That was pretty good job. I like the way you broke it down with that customer.
Yeah, good job
what the
getting everything
difference
done
is.
as the assignment was given,
Never
Mike. I'm really proud
have
of you.
a C.H. Robinson.
So what do you got, and where did you start, Christian?
Well, Russ, I think that they say save the best for last. I mean that I couldn't pay attention to the assignment. I'll go next because it's not going to be the best at all. But we will let's do this. We're going to screen share.
Well, I think Mike's got to unscreen share.
Oh, it says I'm screen sharing, but
there you go.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. So I put mine together. Hopefully it all shows up in the right order, being that I was doing it during the news. Thank you, Ian. I did enjoy the longer segment. Appreciate the extra time. So I started off in Roanoke, Virginia, because I was not paying attention. But what I did was I did everything through DAT. I didn't go to Echo's board. I didn't do C.H. Robinson. I just said, let me hit the DAT, mostly because, again, I did my homework at the last minute. So I apologize, but hopefully this will all flow pretty well. What I do is I pulled the state and regional rates, which is under rate view. You can look at single lanes, multiple lanes. I went to state and regional. And this is something I don't do a whole lot unless I have more time on my hands. But if I got, a couple guys I'm booking a day ahead, or the team is booking a couple days ahead, they can do this too. And what you do is you basically find your origin state, and then you look through the destinations. And what I do is in my mind, I outline the parameter and say, I don't want the state next door because it's obviously going to have a higher cent per mile. But what are the states that are paying well for that period of time? So for the last 30 days, you look at Virginia, you follow it all the way over till you reach Indiana, and it shows that it's paying $3.34 a mile. So I figured our pickup needs to be somewhere around Roanoke, Virginia. As you can tell, it shows Eden, North Carolina, which is about a 70-mile deadhead, 535 miles to a place called Bluffton, Indiana. It's 605 total miles. It would deliver on Monday. I just use these two cute little maps from Google to show what the deadhead as well as the loaded are, and then our delivery map to show what states that we'll be operating in for the pickup and transit. So we went from Virginia down to North Carolina and picked up to go to Indiana. I pulled up and
Christian, you froze.
You froze. You muted?
Something happened.
Sort one.
That load's been covered.
Okay, you're back.
He's back.
Oh, was I muted?
You froze or something happened.
Okay.
Just there for 2 seconds. It wasn't
Okay,
long.
cool. So, and what I did was I did also try to find lighter freight. So this way I'm trying to see if I can carry lighter freight and have a higher cent per mile.
Yep.
Eden, North Carolina to Bluffton, 3.9 loads per truck to 5.1. So we have an increased market with 20,000 pound load. Paid $1,500. If you look here, that was just the posted rate. There's an image of it. It's 248 on the all miles, 297 on the loaded. So then what I also did was I pulled up the DAT rate view single lane to show where I was in my negotiating skills. I didn't have the ability to negotiate because we're just taking the posted rate.
The posted rate, right.
Yeah, but I want to make sure people understand we're just not picking rates that are sky high for no reason, right?
And I've never booked and I know you guys are the same way. I have never booked a load without trying to squeeze everything you can out of it, especially in days like that now.
Well, and you bring up a good point. Off topic, it's a lot like gambling. You can't play with scared money. And so if you're not willing to push the limits in dispatch, you should probably let somebody else do it for you. Joy had a phone conversation with the driver. We just rolled over to an entrusted dispatch, which is where they dispatch themselves. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, I saw that rate. It was posted. Would he not negotiate? He goes, I didn't ask. I was worried he's going to get it moved. He said, if you ever call and the rate is posted, he's not moving it for that rate already. So, note the drivers, negotiate. So this is where it fell. You can tell it fell on the bottom end of the ring. On 1478 was the lowest reported in the last 15-day average. You can look at the load to truck ratio. DAT is finally getting on board and cross-pollinating their platform. So this way they understand that different screens show different information, so you don't have to search for it all the time. From there, I went from Indiana down to Alabama. Again, I went to the state and regional. In Indiana, it shows $3.50 a mile if I'm going to go from Indiana to Alabama. And we did exactly that. So found a load that was right in Bluffton online, going to Moulton, Alabama, 0 miles deadhead, 527 loaded miles. This would be for a Tuesday delivery because, again, I don't follow instructions well. And there's the map. So we went and we increased our load to truck ratio just a little bit more from 5.1 loads per truck to 5.4 loads per truck. Again, a lighter load. It's not the lightest load, but 30,000 pounds, paying $1,700. Meaning that we're running all miles, $3.22 a mile. Again, when we're negotiating, this was right in the middle, top middle of the pack, 1,700. It wasn't the top rate for the last 15 days. Again, moving through. But what I've done from here is when I left Alabama, I said, man, I ran 2 days with higher mileage back to back and not the easiest parts of the country. So I'm going to put him on 2-day run. Where am I going to send him? The great state of Pennsylvania. So he came out of Alabama, and we're looking at the state or the contract site, but it's the same thing. Spot regionals, 352. And we do that. It was 47 deadhead miles, 850 loaded for almost 900-mile trip over 2 days. This would be a Thursday delivery, and it would be Huntsville. It would be Huntsville, Alabama, up to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. This is our map. You see that we really haven't extended outside these mid-Atlantic, East Midwest states until we get to Pennsylvania. And once we do, we're still pushing pretty good cent per mile, and we're going to a better load-to-truck ratio. Pennsylvania is one of these tricky states that just because the load-to-truck ratio increases, it doesn't mean your rates will. It depends where you go. So there are a lot of freight in Pennsylvania, but it depends where you go. We were very fortunate when we'll talk about it in a minute. We went up there for $2,800 on an 8,000-pound load at $3.12 a mile. So we made our money going in, as Pennsylvania is not a guaranteed state on a lighter load. When you look at that, we were right there again, right in the middle. We're not negotiating anything way up here at the $5.50 mark that somebody negotiated back in April. And we're at a better load to truck ratio. But when you leave Pennsylvania, you have to make sure you understand that that cent per mile is going to be higher because the majority of that freight stays northeast around Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, and Ohio with all 500 miles. So when you're looking to come out of Pennsylvania, you'll generally see a lot of states with really spike, $4.98, $5.32. But there's also a lot of states that don't have a lot of money to them, right? $2.40. There's another one over here. $2.26 to Arizona. So the longer you go, the less the cent per mile will be. What I did was I just went to Ohio because that's a common place for us to go. The rate that we found going to Ohio, I think, was $1,500. So it's 112 deadhead miles. We went from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, down to Philly, over to Columbus, 581 miles. Still stayed within this pretty much the same state and regions that we had. A 10,000-pound load again. Well, we are going to Ohio, which had a less load per truck ratio. That wasn't as much of a concern because we have customer freight over there. Still paid $1,500, $258. So we can. My plan was to reload to Monday, not Wednesday to Wednesday, because again, I don't follow instructions. But it was $1,500 from Logistics Dynamics, 10,000-pound load. We are above the mark there on that $1,500 load. Even if we were down at $1,300 or $1,200, they're paying above on a posted rate. Must be something they had to get rid of, or they understand that Ohio's cooled off and not as many people are going to be taking the $900 rate that was all over that board that day. And by the way, that was the span. When I looked at Ohio out of Pennsylvania, there were a lot of $800-900 rates. Yeah, and then there's 13 and 15. So, we want to make sure that, you're not just taking the rates that you see as posted, but sort them by the amount so you see. So here's our report card. Roughly what we're going to find is that we did 2,600 miles, $2.90 a mile for $7,500. And then we have either a Saturday drop available, which is a Mike special, which would have been a really good cap to get somewhere out of Ohio for a next day run to Virginia for $1,500, put a $9,000 week together, or get a restart with a customer drop freight and then start off the week with a $3,000 Monday, $2,700 to $3,000. And round off that Monday to Monday would have been somewhere, between, 95 to 10.5. And we've already had the break DOT.
Yeah. So yours is similar to mine. Kumar, can you screen share what I got?
Well, I imagine you followed your own.
So, Ray, are you still with us?
Yeah.
So I hope you can see the screen.
That is great. I can't even say
so
that.
I gave my driver a name, Clyde McCackleman-Burgers. Week on the road. Hometown, Booger Hole, West Virginia.
Booger Hole.
Yeah. So we started out.
Myself.
Load number one, we came deadheaded down Chicago to Davenport, Iowa, 90-mile deadhead, 177 loaded, total miles 267. I did the same thing as you, Christian. I got it right off the DAT. What I liked about this load, it was short and it was 11,000 pounds. So that was Wednesday to Thursday.
I love the motivation. Sometimes you have to stop and smell the flowers.
That's right. So what? Yeah.
Yeah, Clyde likes to take pit stops when he goes to cities. So while he was in Davenport, he went to the Vanderveer Botanical Park to watch the azaleas bloom.
There
Did
you
he have
have
his
it.
mask on?
Wow.
He
Of course
did.
he did.
So Thursday to Friday, Davenport, Iowa to Galesburg, Michigan, 34,000-pound load. It was 303 loaded. You want to switch it? There
Slide.
you go. Yeah. It was
Sorry.
303 loaded miles, 34,000 pounds, paid 1,200, which is about $4 a mile. Zero deadhead was what I liked. It's still light. It's not super light, but 34 I'm cool with. Don't even feel like you need to scale it or anything. You can just roll. So very short. The reason I like short right now is because of the price of fuel. If I can run the least amount of miles that I can, I'm spending less fuel. I don't have to do the huge revenue, but my rate per mile is going to be high, and my hours are going to be good. So that's why I like it for Clyde McCacklemanberger.
Dear God, please tell me Clyde wants to go to Massachusetts. I can't wait for this part.
Well,
So number 3.
well, while he was in Galesburg, he did stop at the General RV Center because he has dreams of traveling the country one day.
That's hilarious.
So
They were playing Batman.
I'm number 3, the third load of the week, which was Friday to Monday. I went short on the weekend. Kentwood, Michigan to Dayville, Connecticut, 11,000 pounds. This was a Landstar in-way load. Like I said, I only used companies brokers that we are set up with.
So you're going to get a truck order not used for this one?
Probably. But this was actually, I think this was an agent. I looked at their number and stuff, and I think it's an agent in Arkansas, which we worked with a lot. So it makes a difference. Kentwood, Michigan to Dayville, Connecticut, 11,000 pounds, paid $26.50 was the posted rate.
Yep.
Like Christian said, I didn't get to negotiate on anything. I probably would have hit them at 33. That was just my gut, and see where we fall. But maybe even a little higher because it was going to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And then, so
Would you take 80 across that when you came back down?
Yeah, I would definitely try and go the. I would avoid tolls and take 80 across Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that routing is right there.
Yeah, that's the international.
Oh no, he got confused and he went through Canada.
He went through Canada.
Well, the good news is he's vaccinated, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did take a pit stop to Famous Footwear.
He did find Jimmy Hoffa.
But he didn't recognize any of the shoes, so.
So, also the nice thing about this was total miles on that with the deadhead, only 57 deadhead, 850 miles over the weekend. So if the driver needed a reset, that could have been obtained on the weekend. If not, his hours are clean to hit recap after next Wednesday. And then Monday to Tuesday, a 30-mile deadhead, Providence, Rhode Island to Taylor, Michigan, 716 loaded, 30 deadhead. It was a posted rate of 1,300, 35,000 pounds. That was Ryan that I got that from. Keep this in mind. He could have deadheaded down to, I think it's 160, 80 miles to Jersey, into Jersey, and probably got a little bit better rate per mile. And Ian was telling me that today when I was looking at it. But he would have got probably 15 to 18. But that deadhead, you guys all know, coming down from Connecticut to Jersey, it could be pretty rough, time consuming. And I don't know if I could have made the extra load Tuesday to Wednesday. So we went ahead and stuck with a Rhode Island to Taylor, Michigan, 30 deadhead, 716 loaded for 1,300 miles. Not a great rate per mile.
What about the visual inspection?
And we got that done.
Okay.
Then what'd Clyde do there?
He took a pit stop to the Ford Rogue, or is that Rogue or Rouge factory? But he was kicked out because he kept telling customers that Ford stands for Fix or Repair Daily.
So Clyde likes to get out and walk a little on his trips.
Oh, yeah.
And then
he has dreams of traveling the country.
That's right. So Tuesday to Wednesday, cap off our week, another short load. 49 miles deadhead, Toledo, Ohio to Hammond, Indiana. 49 deadhead, 225 loaded, $900, total of 274 miles. So driver did the total revenue that Clyde did was $71.50. The total total miles loaded and empty was 2452. It was about 2,200 miles loaded. Total rate per mile, all miles including deadhead, was 291. Does anyone know where Clyde is in that picture? How about you, Ray?
That's Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
He hit it right away.
Run, Clyde, run.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, after a good week, he said, "I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna go home."
I'm gonna go home
Wearing
now.
my Batman outfit. robe.
And basically where I was going with this, trying to keep the rate per mile up, trying to keep the driver's miles down, wear and tear on the vehicle down, on the tractor down, trailer, and keep the fuel down. You know, that's kind of how I've gotten through tough times with high fuel and not the greatest price of freight. But so there you have it. You've seen 3 examples of how we would do it. And yeah, that was kind of fun. Ray, did you like that? You didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, I'm Batman.
I like how the
That's pretty
shippers
cool.
and receivers are just in and
I'm gonna
out.
wear that mask everywhere I go.
You should. So Ray didn't know that, and he was the guy behind the mask, Clyde. What was his name?
It's too long. But yeah, he liked to stop and check things out.
McCacklemanberger. Clyde McCacklemanberger.
Big fan of TripAdvisor. He went to
McCacklemanberger.
#1 spots
Yeah.
in every city.
Clyde Gump.
I realized why Christian's planned his out of Roanoke, because that's what. Remember, I said in that text for us that we should send 3 drivers there, or each of us pick a driver.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do a shotgun start out of Roanoke and dispatch them for
But
2
you
weeks
got-
and see what
but you guys were talking about
ADHD is a real thing, guys.
real
Just so we're
drivers.
clear.
We were gonna do.
Oh,
out
I know,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. But that was interesting. We can do this again sometime just to see. And you know, let's take a lesson from it. There's 3 different ways you just saw exactly what we would do, how we do it different. But in the end result, I bet you if you added up our fuel, added up things, we're probably sitting around the same money. These drivers are
100%.
making.
Yeah, and I think that tells you
Yeah.
where the market's at too.
Yeah.
You know, money can be made. You have to be available, but whether
So
you're
where
running-
did we end up?
Yes.
I ended up in Hammond, Indiana. Where did you end up in, Mike?
Yeah, on the one I
New
did
York,
with all
upstate.
the CH, upstate games work.
Upstate New York, which I'm not afraid of. And then
I
where
haven't
did you?
been either lately.
Yeah, it's been decent. There's ways out with decent rate. Where did you end up, Christian?
In Columbus, Ohio,
Columbus, Ohio.
or I would have been on a Monday drop in the Northeast.
Yeah.
and then we can watch a struggle to get Tuesday freight.
Utah.
So you can see, we kind of all, I bet you we all ended up where Mike was, Hammond and Columbus, all within, 300 miles in a circle, in a diameter.
Yep.
We all ended up our weeks in the same area.
What we
because
should do
feel
is play a
safe.
game where we can only travel to the horrible blue states on the DAT map, and that way we have to stay in bad and just see how
Try that
nasty you can
again.
get if you're not paying attention to the trends.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I think this is probably the longest show we've ever had. It just flowed.
No, actually, not even close.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, we did have a almost 2-hour one.
So we're
once.
not doing sports. Joel's getting cut again.
I think we're gonna move them to next week. We're about an hour and 40 minutes. It's been a great show.
I still got jokes.
He's got jokes and he's got questions with Kumar. So who should pay the pot this week? Because somebody's got to. We got any volunteers? $20. St. Jude's. Go
Hey, rock,
once.
paper, scissors on the screen.
Okay,
That's
rock,
the three
paper,
you do.
scissors.
It's gonna work really well with the delay.
One.
Is it? Hold
Yeah.
on. Wait. Is it? Now this
Rock.
is always a discrepancy with rock paper scissors. Is it 1, 2, 3 shoot?
Then
or
shoot.
is it
Yeah, it's then
one-
shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like Lethal Weapon
Okay.
here. Is it 1,
All
2,
right.
3, then go? All right, so
Exactly.
so we'll do a process elimination. Whoever wins, right? So the three of us will go ahead and do it. Whoever wins isn't it. So it's the last 2 guys that lose will play each
Okay.
other.
Okay,
All right,
ready?
Ready? Rock.
1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
That was terrible.
What did you have, Mike? Because we both had.
Mike
have
basically
rock.
just
I
won.
was
All right,
going
so-
with
So
rock.
Mike won. So it's between you and
So
me.
it's
Russ.
me and
Ready?
you. Okay.
Ready?
I was going with
1, 2,
2, 3,
3.
go. Yeah. Sorry, Russ.
Damn.
All right.
Darn.
Yeah. Beep. I'm going to say
So-
there was a delay on that one.
It
There
looked
was
like
a
it.
delay.
I
There
felt
was a
like I
huge
got
delay.
took. He's like, okay, so I'll pay St. Jude's this week.
Yeah,
By the way,
I'll match that up due to technology. I don't want anybody saying there was a cheater over here. So I'll match
all right,
it
he'll
up.
match it up. So that's double to St.
Okay.
Jude's, me and Christian. And we got the check off this week to St. Christopher's. So that's really cool. Glad to be able to help I think they're going to buy some computers or what are they? No, they're going to buy some tablets for some kids in the hospital. That's great.
Yep.
It's a really good thing we did. So with that, Christian, Mike, Joel, Austin's in studio on After Hours, and Kumar. You guys got anything else?
Just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, Talkin Truckin on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's all.
Go Browns, go Guardians, and go Cavaliers.